We are exactly 36 days into Operation Epic Fury. The United States, Iran, and Israel are locked in a volatile, multi-front war. Right now, 20,000 sailors and thousands of commercial ships are stranded. The Strait of Hormuz is completely closed, and the global logistics network is seizing up. Every standard geopolitical forecast model has failed to track the erratic twists of this conflict. Sovereign leaders are operating blind under mounting domestic pressure. To figure out what actually happens next, intelligence analysts are looking outside conventional playbooks. They are running the conflict through a highly structured, mathematically rigorous predictive algorithm based on celestial mechanics. This is a tactical overlay driven by Vedic mundane astrology. It maps current geopolitical events directly to the mathematical positions of the planets. When we zoom in on the network, the model identifies 5 concurrent planetary system failures. Together, they create an inescapable 2-week countdown running right now from April 4th to April 18th. The overarching condition governing this exact window is known as Graha Yuddha, literally planetary war. Historically, this indicator correlates directly with prolonged military confrontation and the systemic destruction of national infrastructure. The algorithm has mapped the chronological steps to a global singularity event, and the timeline shows we are already inside the danger window. Between April 4th and 7th, the moon crosses the ascendant of Iran's national foundation chart. During this transit, sovereign leaders become highly reactive, rejecting ceasefires and issuing unyielding deadlines based on emotion rather than strategy. We can already track this against real-world data. The mathematical conjunction of Ketu and Saturn in Pisces corresponds directly to the sudden catastrophic explosions at the Bushehr nuclear plant and Mashhar petrochemical zones. These initial strikes and ultimatums are just the structural tremors. The primary geopolitical systems haven't even collapsed yet. Look at this 3D orbital model. On April 8th, Venus moves directly into the burning corona of the Sun, a state known as combustion. In mundane astrology, Venus governs diplomacy. When Venus goes offline, the safety mechanisms of statecraft fail. Back-channel negotiations and international peace tracks stall instantaneously and go completely dark. This chart tracks the immediate economic shockwave. Without diplomatic safety brakes, panic grips the commodity markets. We see Brent crude oil prices violently breaking out past the $110 resistance level, surging straight toward $125 a barrel. With global communications severed and energy markets spiraling, the warring nations accelerate blindly toward a military climax. This red warning pulse marks the absolute peak of the crisis on April 9th and 10th. The algorithm flags a configuration called Angaric Yoga, the exact mathematical conjunction of Mars, the planet of war, and Rahu, the node of deception, locking together in Virgo. The model projects massive escalation inside the Strait of Hormuz. The combination points to targeted maritime deception, specifically submarine engagements, anti-ship missile strikes, and lethal drone swarms descending on naval vessels. This exact cosmic alignment falls directly on the ascendant of Israel's national chart. This places their critical infrastructure and civilian population centers, like Ben Gurion Airport, directly in the crosshairs of concentrated retaliatory fire. The blast radius of this alignment also extends outward. By tracing the angles, analysts see this same exact conjunction striking the 5th house of India's independence chart, which governs speculation and the stock market. Here is the resulting data cascade. Panic selling triggers a multi-trillion rupee crash. Foreign institutional investors pull their capital, causing a massive, destructive downward spiral in the Nifty 50 index. The Mars-Rahu singularity breaks the back of global stability. But the planetary algorithm is still running, and it shows the cosmic weather is about to shift. Fast forward to April 14th. The intense atmospheric pressure finally breaks with an event called Mesha Sankranti. The Sun moves out of its weakest position and enters Aries, reaching its peak mathematical exaltation. This transit suddenly restores executive clarity and gives sovereign leaders the confidence to make definitive strategic decisions. 24 hours later, Mercury leaves its debilitated state. The planet governing intelligence and trade becomes functional again, abruptly forcing those frozen communication channels back open. The algorithm has generated an anomaly. It reveals a fleeting mathematical window where the cosmic pressure drops just enough to allow actual human intervention. Look at this timeline bracket. Between April 17th and 18th, the data calculates a specific 25 to 35% probability for a ceasefire or a humanitarian pause. The data also isolates a specific human variable. India's Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, has a personal astrological chart that perfectly aligns with this exact transit, uniquely positioning him to execute behind-the-scenes diplomatic strategy. If this moment is seized, a mediator could navigate the narrow gap between Iran and Israel, pulling the warring parties back from the brink before the diplomatic window closes completely. The stars map the immense pressures, the system failures, and the breaking points of nations. But in the quiet, narrow spaces between these planetary storms, human agency takes over.
Follow livebhagwan.com for more such content.